What is up, guys? Cosmic Contender here for another video. We're going to be going on UI within Godot, and we're going to be making our own theme along the way. So let's create a new project, call it UI tutorial. Create folder, create and edit. Godot uses all their control nodes for the UI. So if you go as this loads, you'll see user interface. So that's a control node. We're going to go and create main menu. So we're going to name it as, save that. Save. The next node we want is what's called a VBox container. So that makes sure that everything within it is vertically aligned. So it will go from the beginning by default. You can also center it or end it. But we're gonna make this anchor. So since it's in this control node, we're gonna center it in the control node and save it for now. Then we want what's called a panel. So add the panel in. As you see, there's nothing inside our panel right now. What we can do is change the layout and make it have a minimum of, I was trying to do 300 pixels wide, 300 pixels right. And there we see our panel, which is just a black box. Okay. Next, we want to have a new resource. Type in theme. We want a new theme. I'm just going to call it UI theme. Save that. And we want to override a panel currently. So panel, oh, did I not? I don't think I selected the right node. Panel. All right. This one, I'm not sure if I can delete it, but for now we just need the panel node. As you see, there's not very many options here, but right here we can override. I don't have the assets in my current project, so I need to create some. So I'm going to go into the pixel art of my choice. I use Asprite. You can use whatever software you like, and just do a 16 by 16. All right, and I use the Resurrect 64 from lowspec.com palette. You can use whatever palette you like, but I'm just going to be using this one. So I'm creating one that has a light background of blue. We're going to have some rounded edges, rounded corners. And we're going to give it top to bottom this roundedness. Go down a little bit and up right here. Okay, now with that, we can kind of bevel the bottom, and there you go. We have our box. We could even bevel the top if we want to. I don't know how much I like that. So we're just gonna go like this for now. Okay, go ahead and save that into our project. UI tutorial, create a new folder. I'm gonna call it UI. Let's go into that folder and we're gonna save this as panel.png. Oh, that did not save as what I wanted it to be. Save as panel.png. All right, now let's open this. We're gonna go and click plus. We want to open as a style box texture. As you see, it updated the preview because we're overriding the panel now. Let's go into our UI. Open up the style box, drag it in here. There we go. Apply the theme. We got a little bit blurry. Since it's a new project, we need to go to rendering textures nearest. Save. Now the border seems a little big. That is because the border gets bigger and bigger as we expand our container. So to change that, we need to go into our texture margins. As you see, we have 2 pixels here, 2 pixels on the right. So if we change it to 2 and 2, you're gonna have to zoom in to see the change, but there we go. All right, and then on our top, it's 4 pixels on the top and 3 pixels on the bottom. All right, awesome. As you zoom in, you'll be able to see that change. So 300 pixels is probably too much for what we need for a menu. So let's just do 200 or maybe even 150 for now, and we'll see what we need as we get further along. All right. Center to zoom in. Awesome. Now, let's also add another VBox container because we're going to be adding buttons on this. We want it to take up the whole entire container. So in order to do that, you open this Inker preset, hit here. Now we're going to make our buttons go from the center. So let's go search button. There we are, there's our button. As you see, it's taking up the whole entire container. One thing we can do to fix that is adding also a margin container. And this is kind of like CSS with an HTML. We want to go into our theme overrides constants, and we want to give a good breathing room around all of our containers. So let's go in here and add it in. So now our margin container, and now there's 20 pixels around to give some breathing room on our new buttons. All right, so let's just duplicate some buttons here. So there's center. We shouldn't be doing that. So let's see what's going on here. I think we need to vertically align this with, we need to expand them. All right, but the buttons don't need to do that. They need to stay centered. All right, that might have caused us problems. One thing we can do to change this is change that to beginning, and we want to see what's going on here. If I, so the horizontal, we want them to expand. Oh, because these are not in the VBox. Okay, so what we need to move our margin container and then our VBox inside of it, and then the buttons need to go inside of that. All right, just a little mishap happens. That's why it's part of the learning process. If we center it, these buttons will then go in here and go in our theme overrides, and we can give a separation between each button. I don't know how big our container is though, but let's just say we could separate them by 20 pixels as well. And that gives them all their own breathing room. These buttons aren't that great looking. So let's just do test in here. We might want to delete one at least because these are going to get a little too big. And then just type in pause, start. These are just temporary. As you see, they're already overflowing. So we want to fix that. So one thing we can do is just give our panel more Y space, 200, and save it there. Check if our vertical box is expanding. Margin needs to expand. There you go. Take up the whole entire container. So you want to hit that one. All right. Now let's create a new button for our theme. So I'll go new. And we can do the exact same thing we do here, a 16 by 16 square. We can take that color. So I'm just going to fill it in to make it easy. And we want the rounded corners. All right, let's make our button color a little darker from what we're seeing on our screen. Fill that in. And then we're going to make this little shadow. Here. All right, I want to fix this a little bit. So we're going to move it in just a tad like that. All right, there we go. Save, call it button.png, save that. And then actually, I need to expand this canvas. Let's give the height 32, shifts that up, open this, copy. All right, so that's our button when it's not pressed. And this will be our button when it's pressed. No, it's very amazing, but just kind of shows that it went down. We could even go to the top and chop off the top right there. Again, doesn't have very too much dimension, but at least it gives it more than what we started with. And I'm actually going to give it more depth there. Okay, so we have our button. Let's go and override our button. So back to our theme, open it, add, and we need to add button. Okay, so on focus, we actually don't want this. So we're going to create, oh, I don't know why I went to the top, but I pinned it. That's what happened. Okay. So we want to just create an empty box for that. On hover is going to be the exact same thing as our normal, which will both be style texture boxes. Okay. And we will go inside this one. Okay, we have our UI, drag our button. Now we don't want the whole entire button, so we need to go to the sub region and edit the region, go pixel snap, and on our hover, we want it the same as what we want our button to look like for now. Make sure that is saved. Yes, it did. All right, go back to our normal and drag in our texture button. Cool. As you see, it's showing both. So we want to do the exact same thing. Drag it up to the first one. Now we're seeing that the margins are off, so we need to go 2, 2, 2. All right. Now we have our button margins. And then we need to go to the last one. Oh, we need to go back actually to the hover state to fix that. What happened? Hover, texture 2, 2, 2. Cool, awesome there. And then normal. Oh, no, that's not normal. We need pressed. That's the exact same thing, but instead we need to select that bottom one, or so 2, 2, 2. Okay, and then subregion. Okay. As you see, it's showing what our margins are. So close, and then we can run this current scene. As you see, it's hard to kind of tell. So what we're going to do is change our viewport so we can see it. Something like 720 by, I don't know, 480. I don't know if that's good sizing at all. It's 700, 720, 480. And we want to set the viewport, save, click play, and open. You can kind of, we have one problem, and it's with our texture. We are getting just this. Oh, that's why. Oh, okay, so yeah, we are just getting that. So let's go back. I must have trimmed off the corner by accident. So let's go to our theme. Check pressed again. Edit region. Yes, I did. Okay, so close, save, open. We hit play. So now it looks like the button's being pressed. Not amazingly. We probably could thicken the border a little bit so we could see more of the button, but we're pressing them. All right. So the tutorial's already gotten to about 15 minutes, so I'm going to pause here and we're going to move on to being able to utilize these buttons and also add in text fonts. As you can see on this one, I need to center into on this one, it's a little grainy, pixelated, and we don't want that, so we're going to go use a custom font that I've found. If you have anything you wanted to learn, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer your questions. And please, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.